Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Good morning all. Welcome to Co-Creating Your Reality, where it is possible to attain a slice of heaven on earth. For example, waking up in the midst of nature, or finding myself every morning in the midst of nature, because I was willing to be consistent and get off my bed and exercise. And because of I didn't come here just to pay for my misdeeds, I also came here to reap the benefits of my good deeds, right? So part of reaping the benefits of my good deeds is waking up being blessed enough to wake up every morning and walk in nature. Hiking has always been my main interest. Well, I haven't done it for a while in TNT. It has always been throughout my life my main interest, my main outdoor interest, right? Hiking. And so there, where I am staying now, I am actually like literally surrounded by what I would consider hike trails all around, right? And fresh oxygen, right? So it does feel good to temporarily be away from spaces where, you know, one is a lot of litter all over, right? These videos are really not to condemn, criticize, but it's to help people become better, because I had to change a lot of ways about me as well, that, you know. But this video is about subsequent to changing certain things about myself. I can come and teach others, right? So things like in Trinidad and Tobago, you would see a sign, "Do not litter." You would see a sign, "Do not litter," and underneath that sign you would see the most amount of litter you would ever see in the world, right? In Trinidad and Tobago, you would hear every time it flood, people would complain and blame the government, right? But fail to teach each other, fail to pull up on each other when you're seeing somebody smoking a cigarette, flinging it outside. You're seeing somebody eating KFC, flinging the box in the river, right? Flinging the box in the river, or leaving it by the waterfall, by the hikes in TNT, right? And the hike trails and so on. You're seeing people dumping their old appliances, washing machines in the river, right? This video series is about attaining heaven on earth through taking personal responsibility for our actions, right? And it's a collective thing, right? It's an individual responsibility that leads to collective responsibility, right? Individual responsibility that leads to collective responsibility, which is a culture that I believe, like as I was saying before, instead of teaching Caribbean people that Western people are responsible for all our problems in the world, start at, taking the aspects of culture that many Western people do abide by, right? Which is not littering, keeping their country clean, right? Not depending on daddy government alone, right? To pick up your rubbish that you dump. That's part of being a child could tell you that, right? But it's part of also being an adult taking responsibility for your action. And it's sad that somebody has to come online and tell a whole country that if you go by the ATM machine and it have a bin right there, one should not expect to see the entire room littered with bank receipts, right? And there's a bin right in front of you, right? So that being said, it's nice to be away from all that, and I will say it as it is, uncivilized behavior, right? You know, in today's society, offense is taken for everything, and with the way that leftist sociology and thing is pushing particular agendas, it's easy to say, oh well, civilized, uncivilized, barbaric, non-barbaric, etc. is because this is something that I've learned in sociology as well, and history and Caribbean history and so on, right? That these were terms that the European people came and imposed upon us, right? They call Caribbean people barbaric, and they pitted groups up against each other and all sorts of things, right? Now, whilst this might have happened for its particular time, right? We live in a completely different time now, and is not teaching that to students now is not going to be in their benefit. And trust me, I know what I'm saying. Teaching that you're in today's society, teaching that European people are wrong because they see Caribbean people, that they use these terms to pit groups against each other and so on. Teaching that, continuing to teach that nonsense in today's society is not going to help Caribbean people, right? Because you know why? It's going to have us maintain a sense of uncivilized behavior that is already there, right? And I will say it as it is. I don't care who call me privileged, I don't care who call me whatever, right? Because I know that I am not privileged. I know the sacrifices I have made to reach to where I am in this life, to at least enjoy a temporary space of not even temporary, because well, it's physically temporary, but to reach that space where I can find peace in my heart. I know the sacrifices that I've been through to reach here, right? So this is definitely not a matter of privilege, right? But I will say it as it is, because somebody needs to say it. And when you go in universities and they're cuddling you and they're babying you and telling you, oh, the European man this, the European man that, when the European people actually are abiding by cultures that maintain their country, like how Trinidad and Tobago could actually be a physical paradise on earth, right? We have the natural resources. We have the natural resources to actually have our entire country be a physical paradise on earth, right? And that has not been done, right? Despite these small size of geographical size, right? Despite our beautiful cultures and so on, this has not been done, right? So I understand why there are things like brain drain, why educated people just end up just shipping out of Trinidad and Tobago, because we have the capacity to be better and we're just not, right? So I will call it as it is, right? That the behavior of many Trinidad and Tobago people are uncivilized by virtue of their actions, right? And this is not a thing of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm not picking on my own country. I am a Trini to the bone, and that is why I actually here doing this, right? I am a real Trini to the bone, right? And that is why I am actually here doing this, right? I have no other reason otherwise doing it. It's because I really want to see my country better itself. And that's why I'm using and blending the field of study which I learned in my own country and my spiritual field of study, right, which is moral law, to bring about some kind of change, even if it's in one person's mind, right? Even if it's in one person's mind or heart, right? So the behavior is what is uncivilized, is not the person or the people. The behavior, and this is not a thing of Trinidad only, it's a thing of all over the world, right? Because there's good and bad people all over the world. There's civilized, uncivilized people all over the world, right? As I always say, third world, first world is not a matter of geography, not a matter of place, it's a matter of mindset, right? So there are uncivilized and civilized people all over the world, right? Uncivilized, civilized behavior, right? I should say not people, they are uncivilized, uncivilized behavior. Eating KFC, dumping your box by the waterfalls or to the side of the road, that is uncivilized behavior, right? Is uncivilized behavior, right? Eating it alone is uncivilized behavior, but we've dealt with that topic already in my previous videos, right? Dumping your appliances in the rivers, that is uncivilized behavior, right? Blaming the government when it floods and you dump those shit in the rivers is uncivilized behavior, right? Because personal accountability is actually a thing, right? Personal accountability and responsibility is a real thing, right? It is, that is what karma essentially is. Action, reaction, right? Action, reaction, right? So it brings me great joy to reap, and it was unexpected, I didn't expect this, you know, but to wake up to a slice of heaven on earth for a little period of time, by being in nature, because nature is actually, is where I find peace, right? Nature is where I find peace. So today the conversation, as I had said in my last video, that I wanted this conversation to be on anarchy, which as another misinterpreted, just like how karma or cause and effect has been misinterpreted by people, anarchy is another misinterpreted term. Anarchy is a misinterpreted term, right? Anarchy, if you Google it, or if you listen to the fake stream news and so on, right? If you listen to the mainstream news outlets and what they portray during crises and things like what happened in 2020 and the protests and the whatever, everything that happened, right? You would see that they actually refer to people protesting on the streets and stuff as anarchy, you know, chaos, no control. You have no control over it. You have no control. You just out there getting on bad, protesting, all these things, right? They would refer to that, government, media would refer to this as a state of anarchy, right? Being uncontrolled, right? Uncontrolled in your actions, just doing whatever you want. Chaos. Chaos is the how they would define it, right? But true anarchy is a political term, really, but it doesn't involve politics, really, right? But it's a political term. It means no masters and no slaves. No masters and no slaves, right? A society in which there are no rulers, and if there is no rulers, there's no followers, right? What does this mean? That everybody is independent and individual. Everyone is an individual free agent. Everyone is an individual free agent, right? And what I am doing right now is characteristic of the state of anarchy, meaning that I am teaching sociology here as well as natural law, right? I am teaching sociology and natural law. Sociology is a field of study where people, usually lecturers, make, I don't know, probably $30,000-$40,000 a month, right? I don't really know. I just call it a figure that I am assuming, right? But I don't know how much money you all make a month, but you all receive traveling allowance, phone allowance, in addition to your base salary, right? And I am actually doing this for free, right? So I'm demonstrating what anarchy is, right? Demonstrating what true anarchy is. I am teaching sociology without financial compensation, right? Without a salary, and I'm doing this every day, and I've been also teaching natural law every day since for the past year, right? Every day, online classes without financial compensation, right? And I am demonstrating therefore that it is possible to have a state of true anarchy without the mainstream organization, without government control, without government, right? It is possible to create a state where we can share our expertise, share our knowledge, right? And this could apply to all aspects of life, right? If you are in the medical field, you can help people, you can share your expertise without the need to be working for government. If you teach, you can share your learn on your own, because technology gives us that opportunity for us to self-teach ourselves, right? You can learn content on your own, and you can teach to others digitally, right? You can teach others digitally or in person, right? You have options as well. You can share your expertise with each other, right? And you can actually create a society outside of society, right? Outside of society, right? It is a possible thing to do, and it actually exists in few places in the world have anarchy, anarchist societies. There are a few places in the world that actually have anarchist societies, right? And it works, right? It can actually work. Anarchy is a state of volunteerism, where you volunteer your service to assist each other in the society, right? You volunteer your expertise, whatever you are good at, right? Whether it's cooking, whether it's speaking, whether it's sharing knowledge, whether it's fixing cars, whatever you are good at. So is also a state where money doesn't even need to exist, right? Because as I was saying in a previous video, that money is actually an idea. It's a fabricated concept, right? It's a fabricated concept, and you actually don't need it, right? You can trade your ideas, you can share how to do things, and you could do it for absolutely free for each other, right? There's no need for a lot of or any money, right? Because we live in a world where everyone is good at something. Everybody is good at something, right? And everyone can actually contribute something. And if you can't contribute something, you can learn to contribute something, right? And that's what anarchy is about, right? Helping each other through voluntary service. And so you need not go, because the same jobs that you're doing while working for the people who control you, the same jobs that you do for working for people who control you, you have that experience, you have that knowledge base as to how to that practice, right? So it is possible to withdraw from those control systems now and contribute without having that need. Right now, this might sound like a very far-fetched idea. It might also sound idealistic, right? It might sound like a far-fetched idea. It might also sound idealistic, but it is the only way, it is the only solution, actually. It is the only solution to solve the problems in the world, right? It is the only solution to solving the problems in the world, right? And I know this might sound crazy to people, right? Because it's not a normal way of living by virtue of how we were socialized culturally and socially and so on. But to avoid complaining every day about going to work, complaining about the traffic, but you're not doing anything about it, right? I just up and leave my job, you know. I couldn't take it anymore, and I just up and leave my job, right? Is one life that you have to live, that you know of, right? As I said, most can't remember their past life, but there's one life that you can remember for the most part, right? Why do you choose to spend most of it dealing with circumstances that really you don't need to deal with to impress people that you don't even like, right? Why are you spending so much time and energy dealing with situations and people that mentally frustrate you, right? To get money to buy clothes, to go to a place, right? Such as your workplace and so on. If you, I'm talking to people who are in this situation, I'm not talking to people who actually enjoy their jobs and so on, right? Why do you spend so much resources buying clothes to go to a job to impress people you don't even like, right? Or who frustrate you on a daily basis, right? I'm not on that, right? I am not on that. So this video series is to encourage you to take action in the direction of your dreams. Take action in the direction of your dreams, right? It was my dream to become a sociology teacher. It was my dream to become a sociology teacher, right? As I said, I waited about 8 years. I waited about 8 years for the government to respond to me. I was already assessed as a teacher 3. That means that I was assessed to teach sociology at a slightly higher grade, as they would call it here, than other sociology teachers and so on, right? So I was qualified to teach social studies and sociology by their own system. I was qualified, right? And I've been waiting on an interview for about 8 flicking years now, and it hasn't yet arrived. So I took it upon myself. I don't really care to be part of your system anymore. In fact, the way the education system going, I rather stay outside, right? So you all could discard of my application. I rather stay outside, and I have taken it upon myself to follow my own dreams and not wait on Daddy Government or Keith Christopher Rowley or Kamla Prasad Bisessa or any shithound politician, right? Or Anthony Garcia, whoever it is. Okay, that was freaky, but come. Oh.
She's always difficult.
Alright, then no, that's no problem. He's so friendly. What's her name?
Oh, she is. She's just a little teddy bear, isn't she?
What's her name?
Mopsy.
Mopsy.
Yeah, because dish mops, you probably don't know about dish mops, but we used to have things on sticks to wash dishes years ago.
Right, yeah.
And it hangs down each side, which when she was a baby, that's what it was like.
Right.
So she's Mopsy.
Alright, enjoy your walk.
Thank you.
Take care. Oh, nice dogs. Right, I apologize for that. Another perk of teaching sociology on the outside. You get some interesting experiences, right? Yeah. So, as I was saying, you don't have to depend on Keith Rowley. I don't have to depend on Keith Rowley or Kamla Prasad Bisessa, right? I don't have to depend on PNM and UNC in order to wait for my application to be processed. I brought myself online and I started teaching what sociology really is, right? I brought myself online and I started teaching what sociology is. And I'm teaching about the core concepts in sociology, and today we are talking about anarchy. Anarchy, which we can translate from being a textbook, theoretical concept to bring it to life, to actually create the change, right? So this video series is not about opening any textbook and reading what is the definition of anarchy, what is this, what is that, right? It is actually encouraging people, and through demonstrating, right? Through demonstrating via my own life, that how we can actually create, like, attaining heaven on earth is not a far-fetched concept, right? You just need to take the behavior, make the behavioral change. You just have to make the behavioral change that would allow you the opportunity to attain some kind of heaven on earth, right? You just have to make the behavioral change, right? Which is what I had done, right? That's why it it sickens me when I hear people talk about privilege and so on. Whilst there are people who are actually privileged, right, economically, financially, and so on, there are some people who actually attain their experiences via sacrifice, via hard work, via doing the right thing, whilst others continue to engage in wrong behavior, and expect to attain the results of this, right? The positive results. You can't keep engaging in wrong behavior and reap good rewards, right? It doesn't. The law, universal law, simply does not work that way, right? Universal law simply does not work that way, right? So, dogs is another one of my favorite thing, and I just happened to, one of them just jump up on my leg just now, right? In the midst of nature, so couldn't get any better than that this morning. So anarchy is the word of the day, and not anarchy as in what the government tells you anarchy is. Not anarchy as in what the government tells you is. It's about time that we start to look beyond the surface, right? Look into that which is occulted, or that which has been hidden, right? Look into that which has been hidden, right? Look into that which has been hidden or occulted, right? And you will see that even the things that normal words that we use on a day-to-day basis, right? It doesn't even mean the things that the meanings that we give to it or we were taught, right? And anarchy is one of those words, right? Anarchy is one of those words. Because anarchy is a state of true freedom. Anarchy is a state of true freedom, and true spiritual freedom is the goal, or should be the goal, of any spiritual journey, which I am on right now, right? What I am on right now is actually a spiritual journey, and the goal, it doesn't make sense embarking on a spiritual journey. It does not make sense embarking on a spiritual journey if your end goal is not liberation, right? In Christianity and so on, we in Christianity and so on, the end goal of life, but this happens after death, right? The end goal is heaven, right? The end goal is heaven. In Hinduism and in Islam as well, the end goal is heaven, right? In Hinduism, the end goal is moksha or liberation. Same thing, heaven, right? Heaven, right? Which is merging with the source of creation, becoming one with the Father, right? And religion and Christianity and stuff, that is at the top of the hierarchy, right? The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, right? So heaven is becoming one with the Father, which is moksha, which is liberation, right? But this video series is to demonstrate to people that you don't have to wait to become one with the source or the Father, if you want to call it like that, right? Mother, Father of creation. You don't have to wait until you are dead to experience this, right? You can actually experience this on the earth as was originally intended, right? You can attain this on the earth, right? And the only way you can attain this on the earth is to take moral action and align with the spiritual laws of the universe. This brings an end to today's discussion on the most important concept that you might ever come across in my video series, which is anarchy, right? So you could probably do some reading on that and thinking and contemplating on how we can actually create a free society and take action towards it.